We don't live very far from Fletcher, so we'd always be walking down to Fletcher Jones. And the children would always want to go by the shop, of course, to get the bag of lollies on the way.
Mum and Dad had visitors from out of town or people that called in from Melbourne. You'd always go to the Fletcher Jones Gardens.
When this photograph was taken, it's my husband Des, myself, Julie and Debbie.
It was taken, we think, round about late 1961 or early 1962.
We look quite well turned out. I've got the pearls on and God, we look young, I know that.
Julie and I look like we're well fed. We're standing in the front, Julie holding my hand as my big sister and always still holds my hand through life. And I remember those dresses too. Mum would have made those dresses and probably made the dress she's wearing. And in particular the dress that Julie's wearing, it had cherries on it on the pattern, and I always loved it, and of course when she grew out of it I got to wear it.
I used to make everything they wore in those days, and yeah, I can remember those dresses, especially Julie's with the cherries, and they were always passed down, and having 4 daughters, they got well used.
It's so cute, and Julie's got the little handbag and we've got the little hair ribbons. It would have taken Mum hours to dress us, you know, just to go for a family picnic. Look at $1 million. The little Balinese looking hut, the little rotunda, I just loved it in there, and you'd enter through the little hedge part there. There was the opening, you'd go in and you'd play around, just looking around in there, and often a lot of the time I'd just be in there on my own and imagining that I was like in a different world and almost like Gilligan's Island or something like that, with all the ropes around the bottom of the hut and like I was a castaway, and yeah, my imagination would just run wild. I loved it there, loved that part.
All of the children used to love Fletcher Jones Gardens, and I know Des and I loved it because we could just sit and relax, and we probably didn't explore the gardens the way the children did.
You'd always have to throw money in at the wishing well, and I just thought that was just like so magical that there was a wishing well there. Wow, you know, and you'd wish for all sorts of things, like that the fairies would come and leave me a pony overnight in the backyard, and that the fairies would come and bring me a big bag of lollies, all sorts of things like that, yeah.
They would play for hours and yeah, have all their little adventures in the garden, and we could just sit and relax and let them go.
Where the big old fountain is, I used to love that area as well. And sometimes you go there and it'd be working, and other times it wouldn't be working, and oh, I'd be so disappointed when it wasn't working. And being so little, you'd look up and it just seemed to be so huge, that fountain. The flower baskets made out of stone, you know, they were just like absolutely amazing, I thought, when I was little. It was just things that you never ever saw anywhere else. Whereas of course gardening's, you know, come along in leaps and bounds and people are doing all sorts of creative things, but back then you never saw anything like it. It was just so different and magical.